We do foundation piers. We lift houses. We lift porches. We stabilize houses. That's all we do. Nothing else. I'm like, man, I want to waterproof basements too. He's like, well, that's not me, because all we do is this. I really had no desire to do piers, but I saw that there was a void in the market here. There weren't a lot of companies doing it. And so we decided to get in bed with Permajack. We are a dealer of Permajack. I'm not a franchise. I'm a dealer. I only use Permajack piers. I buy all my piers from Permajack. But on the crawl spaces and other types of projects, the waterproofing, that's something else. So we decided, what's different? What can I do different? So we found a company out of Minnesota called Safe Basements. And they had this pipe that they put in their basement waterproofing applications. And I don't know, are you a golfer?
Not a good one.
Well, yeah, that's right. I'm sure Milton's not good either. But,
you are correct.
Yes. When you waterproof something, nobody waterproof. People water redirect. Okay, that's what you do. But there's only two reasons that doesn't work. And when you put in drain tile, when you put pipe in a basement, you have to have a 1/4 inch fall for every 2 feet that pipe runs. You have to make sure it flows to where you're trying to take it to. If whoever installs that pipe doesn't do that correctly, then that basement will not be water redirected or waterproof. It could leak. Well, the other reason it fails is if that pipe gets clogged. So back to the golf thing, you think about how hard it would be to create drainage on a golf course green. It's a mathematical quantity, because a golf course green, no two golf course greens are the same, and none of them are level. They all come up, they all come down. So in the 50s, some guy invented this stuff called waffle pipe, and it's a multi-flow pipe that works through water displacement. So instead of one pipe, it's 5 pipes. They're all smaller. They're 2 inches instead of 4 inches. They're all joined together. And this water, when you put the pipe in vertically, can actually flow up a hill. And so in my mind, I'm like, that's perfect. Because if I put that in a basement, I eliminate both problems that usually cause waterproofing to fail. I eliminate the need for slope. And I also eliminate the fact that what's more likely to clog, 1 pipe or 5.
Right.
And so that's where the company in Minnesota came in. They were the only contractor that was using this pipe. I went to Minnesota. I worked with these guys for a week, and I learned to do what they do. And so we did the same thing with the piers, Permajack. I went to St. Louis. I did piers with them. They came here, did piers with us. So for the last 12 years, that's what we've been doing. We do piers, waterproofing, we do crawl space stabilization, but that's how Permajack came to be. You would never call my other company Biomet to stabilize your house. We needed that presence in that name. So that's where we are.
Yeah, so there was a need. I guess there's no licensed contractors. I know City of Louisville's run into that, where they did a similar thing for lead-based paint, certain remediation programs. They come up with this legislation, and then there's no one that has the licenses to do it, and then investors are expected to go get a licensed lead removal specialist or test, and there was none around. People feel the need, got licensed, spent $20,000 on the equipment, and then they changed the regulations. So there's a lot of guys that are upset because they invest all this money and now they don't have to do the testing. So it sounds like you're seeing a need, you're filling a need. That kind of lends us, gets us right to one of our sponsors, Bespoke Marketing. So when you're running a small business, you shouldn't have to be an editor, actor, and a brand content manager as well. Our friends at Bespoke Marketing can do those things for you and help you look great while you're doing what you do best. Visit them at bespokemarketing.org. Bespoke Marketing, connections tailor-made.
So can you walk us through some of the most common foundation issues that homes in this area would have? I mean, it's a lot going on when it comes to that. Can you walk us through some of the most common problems?
Sure. Like one thing is, if people took care of their gutter, I would probably be out of business. And that's the most common thing.
As simple as that.
Simple as that. Because water is the devil. And every house settles. There's never been a house that didn't settle. There never will be a house that doesn't settle. Everything's going to settle. But water exasperates the problem. And most people don't take the time to make sure that their gutters are going at least 6 to 10 feet away from the house, that it's falling away from the house. That they might put gutter extensions on, but then every time it rains, there's water pouring over the top of the gutters and right into one spot. Because anytime water touches something, it takes a small piece with it. And so if you've got a foundation that's settling and you add the variable of more water to it, then all you do is accelerate that. And then there comes a point in time where it could settle so much that it's never coming back without help from somewhere on the outside. Somebody like me, to go in and stabilize that foundation.